Hey everybody, this is Lindsay from windingroadcrochet.com, and today I'm going to show you my technique for turning a corner to corner crochet graft into a double crochet project. So here's the project that I have here, and if you'd like to get this graft you can find it on my website. There's a link in the description box. I have this worked up as corner to corner crochet as well as worked up as a double crochet graphghan or graph. In this video series, I'm going to take you through this technique step by step so that you don't only get the same picture in the two techniques, but that they are also end up being the exact same size. This is a 4-part video series, and in the first part, we are going to learn the differences between corner to corner crochet and double crochet in your final projects. The second video is going to go over gauge so that these do end up being the exact same size. The third video is going to go over prepping your graph so that we can do it as a double crochet and not get confused by the corner to corner crochet graph. And the very last video, I'm actually doing a time lapse of me working up this double crochet project, and I'm going to be sharing lots of tips and tricks with you to make your project as easy as possible. So in this video, you are going to notice that there are some differences between the look of the corner to corner crochet graft and your double crochet graft. One of the things you're going to get that's going to be a big difference is the corner to corner crochet graft has a texture to it versus the simple double crochet graft is going to be much smoother looking. And there isn't particularly one that's better than the other between corner to corner crochet and double crochet. There's just differences to consider when deciding what to do your project in. And one of those differences is definitely going to be the gaps. In corner to corner crochet, we have this chain 3 turning chain that leaves us these big gaps, and I definitely have a lot of people when I did a tutorial on corner to corner crochet that didn't really care for the gaps. So when you do the double crochet, you are going to have a little bit smaller gaps, so that is kind of a pro or con to one side depending on what you're looking for. If you are doing a bag or something, if you line it with fabric, those gaps aren't a big deal. So it just depends on if you'd rather deal with the gaps or if you'd rather have the pretty texture of corner to corner crochet. It's completely up to you. The next big difference, of course, is corner to corner crochet is worked from corner to corner, so you're actually working on a diagonal or on the bias of the project, and that is a little bit more complex when you are doing that. It makes the project, I think, a little bit harder. You're more likely to make a mistake and have to frog it a little bit, but that's just something to consider, and I think that's one of the reasons a lot of people are going to lean occasionally to doing a double crochet project instead of corner to corner crochet, because of course working back and forth in regular horizontal rows is going to be a little bit easier to keep track of your project. And in that same terms, another small thing I noticed is since you're working back and forth versus working on the diagonal, that working the double crochet has a lot less ends to weave in, because you do end up passing across a lot of different sections and having to have a lot more bobbins going with your yarn in different colors. Another thing to consider is that if you're working a rectangle or a square, a lot of people are comfortable with working a corner to corner crochet square, but they have trouble working the rectangle because you have to increase and decrease and alternate. So if you're having a project like a banner, like my spooky banner or a table runner or something like that, or even my teacher's modern tote bag that is made in a rectangle, if you don't want to do a rectangle in corner crochet, the double crochet would be a great alternative for you. This would simply just make the project easier for you. So with the C2C crochet, you are pretty stuck with your square and your rectangle, but if you are doing a table runner or a banner with the double crochet at the beginning and the end of a project, you could do increases and decreases at the edge of your work to create a point, so you may have more flexibility. In my spooky pattern that I showed, I did end up adding double crochet to the end of it to give it a nice tapered point. So these are the things you're going to want to consider when deciding if you want to do a corner to corner crochet project or a double crochet alternative. If you're enjoying this video series so far, definitely make sure you subscribe for more video series like this. If you've never learned corner to corner crochet, I have a full video series on that as well, including how to crochet a rectangle. And make sure to catch the other videos in this series. I will leave links to them in the description box below.